Artificial intelligence has really already transformed the world around us, and it's clear that, frankly, it's not going anywhere.
Artificial intelligence, defined by NASA as computer systems that can perform complex tasks once normally done by human reasoning, decision-making, and creating. On top of changing the environment of the internet, education, and daily life itself, AI is redefining the landscape of learning both inside and outside the classroom. At Shippensburg University, AI is becoming a daily tool for students, from generating outlines of papers to even assisting in data analysis and statistics classes. Across campus, the question isn't whether or not AI belongs in education, it's how it's being used responsibly. In this documentary, we step inside Shippensburg University classrooms to see how students and faculty are navigating this digital transformation. Is AI making learning easier, smarter, or even more complicated? This is The Social Link, Student Technology in the Age of AI. To answer these questions, we looked at some of the research done by other college institutions and studies. AI in schools provides many pros and cons. According to the University of Illinois and its Office of Online Programs, on the positive end of the spectrum, AI opens up a whole new world of opportunities and assistance for students, faculty, and staff. Arguably the biggest positive, according to both the University of Illinois and Schiller International University, is AI's ability to provide personalized learning. The ability to provide personalized learning allows for nearly every student's individual needs to be met. On top of that, AI's ability to analyze the weaknesses, strengths, and learning preferences of the students allows for an ever-adapting tool that can be used and tailored to students, allowing them to learn in their own way and at their own pace, while also providing additional support in their areas of need. Immediate assistance and feedback from AI also allows for quick and objective criticism of student work, giving students the ability to easily and quickly fix their mistakes in a more timely manner, expediting the learning process considerably. On top of all this, the ability for AI to swiftly bring in access to thousands of different sources and materials through a quick search has given both students and the staff a chance to expand their ever-growing knowledge more easily. However, AI doesn't come without challenges to education and learning as a whole. Since the inception of AI, the rising thought of security and privacy concerns of whether or not their data is being collected and shared remains constant. Receiving false information and the ethical concerns of academic dishonesty and misconduct from students through the use of AI still remains. To get a sense of what students on campus are thinking, we spoke with students at Shippensburg to hear their honest opinions and thoughts about using AI and technology in the classroom.
I use it a little bit too often, but mainly to generate ideas for things, to get the ball rolling and for assignments.
Only if deemed absolutely necessary and only for outlines and nothing more.
You haven't used AI for any classes or anything? Or for papers?
I have used it for papers, but only outlines. Outlines only.
I don't use AI, no. If I need to look up a question, I will, but I never use it to for essays, or I don't plagiarize it ever. So I don't know. I don't know. AI, I don't know. I could just look up Google, or I could look up a source or something to find my information. I don't necessarily need AI for that, So you can't always trust AI, especially now.
I use it a little bit, more outside of class, just worried about plagiarism and issues that AI causes with academics. But I mean, certainly ask a question, get some ideas, brainstorming, spitballing some ideas. A lot of my classes right now are coming up with business ideas. So sending stuff to ChatGPT and getting responses back and then having to tweak that to make it my own original thought. But I definitely do use AI.
I'm not the biggest AI person. I mean, I use ChatGPT sometimes, but I'd rather kind of just do things myself.
Definitely my professors encourage the use of AI, but only for coming up with ideas or something like that, and not to actually do the work. And for myself using AI, I personally don't use it a lot. I only use it when I'm really having trouble thinking of something.
Yeah, I use professors that are trying to use AI, generative processing transformers that, like ChatGPT for our advantage. It's in our lives. We can't get away from it. It's not like we're not going to be using AI like this, like generative transformers in the future.
We sat down with software engineering student Adolfo Alvarez to hear about his experiences with AI in the classroom.
I came into software engineering with no experience of coding whatsoever. So, coding class, no experience. So I had to basically learn from the beginning. And while there are some other students who already have some level of experiences in programming. So as far as using AI, I remember in my first semester, I used it a lot to the point that it was pretty much writing my code for me. So I relied on that a lot. And then it came to backfire on me because as I, passed the class, it was just the beginning stages of learning how to code.
Computer science professor Dr. Charles Gerard discussed with us his department's awareness of AI and how the software affects his students.
Definitely right now, every department, well, not I want to say every department, but a lot of departments are very much aware of AI, and the good ones are trying to figure out how does it affect their discipline, what should they be teaching their students. For some disciplines, if a student has experience with AI and they go into the workforce, that can actually be a negative, like the employer doesn't like AI. So it's not even across the board at the moment. Computer science is sort of specialized in that, but other fields, it could be a positive or a negative. And so a lot of departments are really challenged on what approach do they take, and they're looking at it the same way we are. How does it improve a student's learning? Is it helping them learn the material better? Is it hindering what they're learning? Is it being a support tool, or is it being a crutch?
Mathematics professors Dr. Kimberly Presser and Dr. Mark Renault took the time to discuss with us the growing role of AI in the mathematics department and how it could impact the future of mathematics.
So when people first started talking about ChatGPT, what you saw from a lot of people here in the department was going out and investigating the tool. Just seeing what kinds of things it could be produced, because you kind of have a Chicken Little, the sky is falling. Why are we teaching anything? It was a lot of the time just faculty ourselves investigating what kinds of things were produced. Is the sky really falling compared to what we do? So that was, one of the, kind of the first angles in terms of what to do. The second thing I took a tact for in my class was actually demonstrating for students what kinds of things it produced and more of a critique. And so I would show them, I'll ask some questions to ChatGPT that we're studying in class, and then let's analyze what the response is that's coming out.
Students have always used technology. The students have used calculators, and then the calculators got smarter, and then websites appeared where like Mathways, where it would do the work for you. And now AI, where you can just more easily type in your question and the computer will spit out the solution and all the steps. And so yes, I absolutely have seen students using that more and more and more. And unfortunately, they're using it more in testing situations because it's easier to get away with it. They're using it more in homework, and actually that's okay. I think that if you're using it to understand what you're doing, then this is a great tool. But if you're using it to get away with stuff because you don't know how to do it, that's where it's bad. I think it really can be a useful tool. In fact, I was advising a student who was here the other day, and I think he's in linear algebra, and he was saying how he tried one problem and he kind of felt like he understood it, so then he went to ChatGPT and asked it to give him 10 more similar problems. And so he is really using it as a great tool to try to learn more and learn the method and figure out how this works. And so that's a great use for AI. Give me more examples, show me the process so I can understand the process.
English professors Dr. Thomas Krokunis and Dr. Neil Connolly provided us with their insight into how AI provides assistance to them, but also how AI might affect English in writing classes in the future.
So it's different for different kinds of classes. In classes where the focus is students' development as writers, there's I'm not going to say that there wouldn't possibly be any use that AI could have, but I think it's really not a primary thing that students need to work with. They mainly need to work with reading, digesting information, trying to figure out how to put it into words, their own words. And I'm sure that students occasionally try things with AI, but there's not really a place for it, since the goal of that writing is for the writing to reflect their thinking, so that I can coach their thinking by coaching their writing. So anytime the writing would come from the machine, like that would not be productive for me to give feedback on it, because I'd be giving feedback to the machine.
Because in one way it's going to get worse. And the way it's going to get worse is it's going to get easier and easier to have artificial intelligence supplant human thinking and kind of discourage human thought. And that's a problem for me. That's a real problem for me. I have no beef. I use spell check. I haven't opened the dictionary in a decade. I've got some great thesauruses in my house. They're dusty because the one on my laptop's faster. I'm used to using that. That's AI too. I got no beef with that. Grammarly was a really good, useful tool when it would point out problems to you or ask you questions. And even as little as 2-3 years ago, if you ran an essay through Grammarly, it might say, hey, I noticed in this paragraph you begin 4 sentences with because. And you're allowed to do that, but stylistically it might get a little awkward.
We also had the opportunity to talk with communications, journalism, and media professor Dr. Diamond Chattopadhyay, where he shared with us his experiences with AI and how he encourages students to explore and experiment with its use in the classroom.
The worldview I take is, if today students are graduating and they're going to experience AI in different formats in the workplace, be expected to work with it, deal with it, catch it, ethical complications and implications, then it is my job to train students as much as I can in this short time so that they're better positioned to tackle AI's interference or use AI as a virtual assistant, whichever way you look at AI. And the best and possibly the only way I can do that is if I train myself, right? What are the ways we can maximize production, efficiency, right? So there seems to be a disconnect between the two, and I think both of them have a point. But in order to catch unethical use, one must have the knowledge, and that knowledge comes from training. So I think as a faculty member, I believe I must train myself to be in a position where I can, catch the unethical usage, but teach why that's a problem, and show people what are the better ways of using artificial intelligence so that it can truly be a virtual assistant.
AI has been an open discussion throughout the world of academia. The AI Academia Conference was held on April 3rd, hosted by Shippensburg University, a PASHE conference that invited members of the academic community to share and present their own personal findings of AI in their classrooms, alongside how it's changing the way we learn more about the growing technology. During the conference, Associate Criminal Justice Professor at California University of Pennsylvania, Dr. Charles Wydra, discussed AI's use in regards to being a helpful tool for writing and also how it could become an alternative for writing tutors at higher academic levels.
So some of you are way ahead of me on this, and I'm trying to catch up, but that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this research and this project, and we'll get to that. But that's what we need to do in our department, and we need to use tools like that, chatbots, so students can become better writers. Because believe it or not, I have doctoral level students, master's level students, doctoral level students that are still not good writers. And my faculty that teach in those classes, and they're reading doctoral level students submitting work, and they say their writing's terrible. They need to become better writers. So again, our university has a writing center, but it's not it cannot support graduate level students. So what's an alternative? AI is an alternative.
Instructional designers and associate professor at Pennsylvania West University, Dr. Angela Millerin, Dr. Jessica Harris, and Dr. Lacey Fulton gave the audience a look into AI's use for students at all levels of learning, from kindergarten through college.
But a lot of what we do is make sure that all of your speech areas in D2L are user-friendly for screen readers. AI-driven subtitles. Jess and I also make sure that all videos that are coming out at the university have subtitles so that they're accessible. We've talked about doing audio descriptive for images, we do alt text, all of that, and that really can be useful in AI. You can put an image into ChatGPT and say, tell me what I'm looking at, and it'll write you a descriptive that you can put in your alt text so that your students are really understanding what the image is. Instead of man standing with dog, it gets way more descriptive, where he's at, color shirt, type of dog, and we recommend that. And then assistive tech for education. AI tools can help with reading difficulties like dyslexia, and through simplification and audio support. And finally, my role as a K-12 in music and media is enhancing student engagement.
Graduate students are using AI, to enhance their research, because most graduate students do a lot of research, a lot of data collection. They have their thesis, or they have a cumulative project that they work on, a dissertation. So AI is helping them take all this information that we have available to us and put it in an organized fashion. With literature reviews and already large sets of data analytics. It's helping them with writing assistance, similar to undergraduate students, and even streamlining administrative tasks.
In closing, while AI does have its setbacks and lasting concerns regarding academic dishonesty, we have learned that from this deep dive into the use of AI around Shippensburg University, AI provides students with tools to make their learning experience easier and more tailored to their needs in the classroom. As long as AI continues to be used responsibly, it will continue to be an ever-adapting tool and resource to students in and outside the classroom.